Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, I have a get ready with me / story time. I'm going to be trying out some new products that I either got in PR or paid for myself while telling you guys about how I got to meet the iconic Makeup by Mario and how I was pushed and bullied around by those 10-year-old Sephora girls. You guys, it's a wild story. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Alrighty guys, I do have some goodies to try out for you today. Some of this was purchased by me, some of it was sent in PR, but I'm so excited to try out some goodies. So up first, y'all, I was so excited because the brand Vacation actually reached out to me and asked if they could send me their classic whip. This is a broad spectrum SPF, so it's like a sunscreen, but it comes in like a cool whip style like container. I'm so excited to try this out. And I've seen a lot of bigger influencers trying this out, and I was like, oh my God, you want to send this to me? So I'm super excited to try this. I'm going to try it on my body, not necessarily my face. They do have face versions too, but this says take your poolside lounge to new levels of decadence with the Vacation brand SPF 30 Classic Whip. This is an innovative sunscreen mousse inspired by everyone's favorite after dinner indulgence. Simply remove the cap, invert the can, and watch as a perfect star-shaped mountain foams in your hand as the authentic tilt wave actuator is gently pushed forward, boosting a lighter-than-air feel, eco-friendly propellants, and our very own world-famous signature scent, Vacation. Classic Whip is much more than a luxury-grade sunscreen. It's truly dessert for your skin. So I'm going to try this out. I'm going to try this out on my arms because I am actually going on vacation this week. I'm going on a cruise, if you guys don't know. I think I told you guys about that, but I'm actually going to cruise at the end of the week, so on Friday. But I will still have new makeup release and everything for you. I also wanted to do a subscribers pick my makeup. I was going to try to do that on Wednesday, like this coming up Wednesday. But I don't know if I necessarily have time because I have so much to do before the cruise. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make it up to you guys. So I'm going to do the first week of February. Technically February 1st is this week. I'm going to do the first week of February. So next Wednesday, I think the 7th, I'm going to do a subscriber picks my makeup live for you guys. And then at the end of February, I'm going to do another subscriber picks my makeup live. So I'm going to do 2 next month to make up for the fact that I didn't do any this month. It was just so chaotic this month, but I'm gonna make it up for you guys, okay? So let's go in with the Classic Whip. I'm so excited to give this a chance. Give this a try. Oh my God. That smells so good. So I think I used a lot. I think I used a lot. Oh no. All right, so we're just gonna put this on my arms. I know it's on my nose, y'all. I know, but I can't wipe it off because my hands are covered. This smells absolutely divine. I used way too much. Way too much. I just got super excited, but this smells absolutely divine. And it's going on my arms super nicely. Like it's blending really, really nicely. It's melting into the skin. It feels really good. It's like, it feels really good. It feels like a nice sunscreen. It gives like a nice smoothing texture. This scent has the classic sunscreen scent. You know that Disney tourist smell that I always talk to you guys about? It smells like that, but it also has a hint of sweetness, like a vanilla cherry is kind of what it smells like a little bit. It smells really good. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I am for sure bringing this with me on my cruise so I could really test it out on the cruise, do a full body wear test of this, check it out. But I just wanted to take a moment to thank Vacation brand for sending this to me. This was so cool. This was so exciting. And now I am protected and I smell really good. I smell really good. I smell like a Disney tourist and I just love that smell. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the eyes. As you guys know, or maybe you guys don't know, but I recently got to meet Makeup by Mario. What? I got to meet Makeup by Mario. Super, super random. Did not expect it, but y'all, I gotta tell you about it. So before I get into the story, I'm gonna let you know that I am gonna use the Makeup by Mario. This is the Master Mattes palette, and it is signed by Makeup by Mario himself. Like what? It's so freaking crazy. This is how the palette looks. I originally was going to grab this palette because I wanted to do a comparison between this palette and the Skims by Kim Kardashian, her palette. I wanted to do a comparison because they look almost identical. So that's why I was going into Sephora. I'll have the whole story, but I'm gonna be using this palette today. And I'm also going to be using the palette that was like exclusive for the event that I did get for free. So here is the little palette right here. Super freaking cute. I definitely kind of like want to mix these together just a little bit because like look at how pretty. Look at how pretty those two shimmer shades are. And of course, this is signed by Makeup by Mario himself. And y'all, listen to this story. I'm gonna quickly take some setting powder. I just did this trend the other day because I did a 2016 makeup look and I forgot like how amazing this was back in the day just to take setting powder. So I'm just gonna take some setting powder and I'm literally going to place it right here instead of tape just to keep trying out this trend because I forgot how good this trend was. Okay, so the other day, my friend Libby, who used to be my upstairs neighbor, was visiting from town because she lives out of state. And we had planned to meet up at Disney Springs for dinner because Disney Springs is kind of like a local spot over here for us to like get together, have drinks, go shopping. I love Disney Springs. I'm there like all the time. So we were going to go to Disney Springs and we were planning to meet up at 4 o'clock. However, I was running late, typical Allie fashion. I was running a little late. I'm going to take this shade right here and we're just going to put this all like in the crease area. So I was running late. So instead of meeting at 4 o'clock, we ended up meeting like almost around 5 o'clock because I was running so super late and I was like, I'm so sorry, but life. We get to Springs and the first thing I said to her was, hey, I know you said you wanted to go shopping. Can we go to Sephora? Because I wanted to go to Sephora because I wanted to pick up a couple things. I wanted to pick up the new Glow Recipe, like the Cloud Essence, like toners, like this, like brightening toner that had come out. I've seen people talk about it. I never got a chance to pick it up, so I wanted to go pick it up. I wanted to see if Milk Makeup had their new like jelly blushes, like these jelly stick blushes, because I just talked about it in my new makeup releases. I wanted to see if they had any available because I wanted to check it out myself. And then I wanted to pick up a brand new Makeup by Mario concealer because you guys know how much I love Makeup by Mario concealer. This is like the only concealer I use. And if you guys don't know, I am running on dry bones because this is the only one I pretty much use as of like the last 2 months since I picked it up. I've been obsessed with it. I've talked to you guys about this concealer so much. You guys know how much I feel about it, how much I care about it. So I had plans to pick up, you know, I had plans to pick up a couple items, and I also wanted to check out the Makeup by Mario lipstick because I saw people on TikTok talking about it. So I was like, okay, I have some things I want to go check out, see if I can go pick up. So we were making our way over to Sephora over at Disney Springs, and it's just a normal Friday night, typically crowded, not too bad. Something that I'm just kind of so used to seeing when I go to Disney Springs. I'm gonna go into this little shade right here. And we walk over to Sephora and I just see this very long line outside Sephora. And it was like they had it blocked out by a queue, so it's like you go in like a little like S curve like this, and I saw this long line and I was like, what the heck? I was like, I have never ever seen Sephora have a line outside of it. And my friend Libby was like, oh my gosh, this was like how it was at Mall of Millennia. The same thing was happening over there. And so I turned to her and I said, is it the damn 10-year-olds? Or are the 10-year-olds the reason why we can't go in the store because they are just destroying it? I was just like, what are they doing? I had no idea. So I see this long line. And Libby's like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I want to wait. And I was like, well, we have a while for dinner anyway. We might as well just wait. So she's like, okay. So we go to try to walk in line and we realized that we were walking not to the right spot. Like, you're supposed to follow the S curve. We were walking like where we thought the exit of it was, or like the end of the line was, but we were going to the opposite side. Like, we were going to where the beginning of the line was because we weren't paying attention. So we walked over there and Libby's like, I don't know if we're in the right spot. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if we are either. So we walk back to where we find the end of the line at, and it's right towards the entrance of the store because it's just the way they're doing a wraparound. And Libby's like, you know what? There's just no way that this line is to go shopping. She's like, there's just no way. I think something's going on. And at that moment, that's when we start hearing like this loud music playing. We hear tons of like, woo! Partying going on.
I'm chill with this recording. Something's going on.
And I was like, what is going on? And there were so many Sephora employees. And I was like, this is madness. I've never seen it this way. And Libby's like, there's no way. And she's like, oh my gosh, Allie, I think there's someone in there. And I said, who? Who could be in there? Because I'm not thinking that there's anybody in the store. It's Disney Springs. And I should be used to it because like I know that Disney constantly does have people, having celebrities there all the time for different events and stuff like that. But I'm not thinking that there's anything at Disney Springs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of just minding my own business. So she's like, Allie, there is someone there. And that's when I like happened to look over by the big old window display, and there's a big old picture of Makeup by Mario. It says Meet Makeup by Mario. And I said, Makeup by Mario is here? And the girl that was standing in front of me in line, she's like, yeah, duh. Why do you think we're waiting in line? And I was like, I had no idea, because like I didn't know. So I was like, oh shit. And she's like, this is the line to meet him. And I said, oh, well, what if like you don't go to meet him? What if you just want to go shopping? She's like, I don't know. I'm here to only meet him. So I said, okay. So Libby's like, do you want to wait in this line? I said, yeah, I mean, I really like a chance to meet him. But like, if you don't want to wait, like, it's fine. Like, I'll just go inside with you. I was like, if you don't mean that's fine. I'll just like want to walk by and like take like a photo. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to force you to wait in this long line just for me. Because I felt bad. Because she's only there for a very small period of time. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be selfish. So she goes, well, let me find out. Let me find out. So she walks over to the lady that's sitting by the door. Is this line right here just to go shopping or what? Lady goes, no, you can go ahead and come on in. This is just the line to meet Makeup by Mario. She's like, Allie, we can go ahead and go on in. So I walked out of line and we walk in the store, and I'm not kidding. The first thing on the right hand side is like a big old white like green screen style like sheet that says Makeup by Mario, and there he is standing in front of it. And I was like, oh my god, I was like, that's Makeup by Mario. Like, I was so like, I cannot believe he's here. Like, I was so dumbfounded the fact that he legit was standing inside my local Sephora and I'm seeing him in person. Like, I was so like, what is this? Had no idea. So Libby went to go find some stuff that she needed to get because she wanted to go shopping. I was just kind of standing there like trying to get like some photos of him, being like, well, you know, I know I'm not gonna get a chance to meet him, but at least I can kind of like grab like a photo with him. I'm gonna grab, and from this little pad, I'm gonna grab this little shade right here. I was like, at least I can like, you know, take a photo of him. Hopefully like no one sees me doing this and like yells at me for like sneaking a photo of him, but no one said anything. So I was like, okay, cool. So I started taking photos, and then I was like, all right, well, I see that he's, you know, he's talking to so many people, like he's shaking their hand, he's, you know, doing little video footages for them, he's being so freaking sweet. I was like, that's awesome. I really do enjoy seeing something like this. So I walk over to go grab my toner that I needed to get from Glow Recipe. And I start looking around to be like, are there any like 10-year-olds in here? Like, I was looking. Like, I was like, okay, I have been talking about this for weeks. I need to see it for myself inside Sephora. I'm going to pay attention. So I was like looking around, being like a little nosy. I didn't see anybody. The store was actually rather empty for what it was. And I was like, okay, cool. This is really pretty, but I feel like I can get more vibrancy out of it. So I'm going to take a little bit of glitter glue. We're going to add a little bit of glitter glue down. So I grabbed my toner, and then Libby's going around. She's like shopping in like the skincare section. I wasn't necessarily paying attention to what she's doing fully, because I was kind of just more like seeing like what else I needed. So I walk over to the Makeup by Mario section, and I see there's a lot of Sephora employees standing there. And they're like, hi, can I help you with anything? I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm just browsing. And then this really beautiful older woman, she had really nice blonde hair, looked at me. She's like, hey. She's like, because she sees me grabbing for the concealer. And she's like, hey, I just want to let you know that if you spend $75 in Makeup by Mario products, you get a chance to meet him. You'll get an exclusive bag with an exclusive palette. If you spend $75 on Makeup by Mario stuff. And I was like, oh, well, I had already intended to pick up a concealer. I had already intended to pick up a lipstick, and I was already contemplating grabbing this palette. So right there, this palette alone I think is like $50. The concealer is like $30. Lipstick's like $20. So right there, that is literally over $75. And I was like, well, say less. I was already going to be buying stuff. So for me, I was like, that's a no-brainer. So I was like, yeah, oh my God, absolutely. So I went down. I saw this was the last palette they actually had of the Master Mattes palette, the last one they had. So I grabbed it. And because like his stuff was selling out quick. I mean, there was barely any lipsticks left, and I was like, oh my God, there's like no lipsticks available. And I was trying to find shades, like the really like pretty pinky shades, but I did not see any in person, which I guess I should have expected, because like it's been out for a minute. His stuff sells out so quick all the time. So I grabbed what I wanted, and then we went in line to go check out. And I was like, oh, this is so kind of cool, whatever, this is exciting. And Libby, she grabbed a little, she grabbed the Makeup by Mario contour wand because she hasn't tried it, and I was telling her that I really do like it. And then I'm gonna go into the shade right here, by the way. I was like, I really do like it, so I think you'd really like it too. And there was a guy there that was helping her out, picking out her exact shade and what she should use and whatnot. Very, very helpful, very friendly staff. There had DJs playing, people were cheering, people were having a good time. So we check out, and I walk back over to the lady that was standing over there. I was like, hey, I just want you to know I grabbed a couple stuff. And she was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, what? She's like, we unfortunately ran out of wristbands. And I was like, oh, are you serious? She's like, yeah. I was like, and I literally looked at her and I was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, I had to get this stuff anyway. So it's not like I was like you know, buying it just to meet him. It's like not a big deal. I was literally coming in here to pick up some items anyway, so it's not a big deal. And she's like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. You know, because, like, it's not her fault. Like, it is what it is. And I know that they probably are limited on with the wristbands they had. I saw this massive long line outside. It is what it is. Like, I was like, okay, no big deal. Well, I'm not kidding. I don't know what changed, but in that moment, she said, you know what? She's like, hold on. Give me, like, 2 minutes. I'll be right back. And me and Libby were like, okay, because we weren't thinking anything, you know, like we weren't expecting anything. I wasn't thinking anything. I was already resigned to, like, you know, this is not going to happen, but I'm just very grateful because I got to meet him. I still got to have like an exclusive palette. They put it in my bag. Like, I'm still very happy with that. I got a picture of him from afar. I'm happy, you know what I mean? Because like I don't know, I just wasn't expecting to go into my local Sephora and see Makeup by Mario there. And besides, I'm used to kind of like seeing celebrities for like anyway, because of the fact that, like, I know I have worked at Disney for so long, and a lot of celebrities come into Animal Kingdom. They come to the restaurants all the time. They always have Vipers with them, which is like VIP. And so me seeing celebrities are really like nothing new in my opinion, because I'm just so used to it at this point, especially just being at Disney. They're just almost like a common occurrence. You know what I mean? So she was gone for 2 minutes, maybe just a little bit more, not even. And we were just standing there. We were actually going to start to head out because I was like, oh, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. She comes back in 2 minutes and she walks up with this right here. Now, let me just quickly do the other eye off camera. I'm going to finish the story. Okay, so she walks up with these two right here and she said, I was able to snag you guys 2 wristbands. And I was like, oh my God, how? And she said, let's just say it pays to be an executive here at Sephora. And I was like, oh my God, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so freaking much. I was getting so excited. And Libby was like, oh my gosh, like, you don't have to give it to me. It could just be her. She's like, you know, I'm not really like into makeup like she is. Like, you just have it be her. Like, you don't have to do it for me. And the lady's like, nonsense. You know, it's gonna be for both of you guys. You guys are here together. So like, you guys are gonna do this together. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, that was truly the sweetest thing. You didn't have to do that. She said, I love giving magic. And I was like, thank you so much. So I started to walk outside and she's like, where are you going? And I said, to the line. She was like, no, ma'am, you're going to go right here. And she puts us right in front. Like, she puts us into the very front of the line. Like, she literally, like, people have to be wait outside and be walked to the line. She put us right to where the line is. And there's like probably like 2 or 3 people ahead of us. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, thank you so much. She's like, you're welcome. She's like, enjoy. So I was just like not expecting that. So we were standing there and then there was a guy that was, you know, walking around. He's like, hey, if you guys want Mario to sign anything, go ahead and have it ready. He only has time to really sign 1 item per person. But if you want anything signed, and I was like, oh my God, yes. So I wanted my Makeup by Mario Master Palette signed. And then Libby's like, well, do you want me to get your little mini palette signed? And I was like, oh my God, can you? So she's like, yeah, sure. So she got that signed. I'm going to go in, by the way, with the One Size Secure The Glow Primer. I really, really, really like this primer. And if you guys have not tried it, I highly suggest you guys check it out because it surprisingly works wonders on really oily skin, and I had no idea that it would. I did a whole YouTube video comparing the two together. I did TikToks, I did short, I did so much with this. So you guys want to check it out, I will have a link down below, but truly it blew my mind with like how good this primer is for someone who has really oily skin. So we get in line and I'm getting like a little nervous because, you know, I just got nervous apparently. And as we're getting closer, I'm like, why am I nervous? Like, there's just really no point being nervous. So we walk over and Libby's like, do you want me to record your experience? It's like, oh my God, can you? So she did. She recorded me walking over to him. I walked up and he's like, hi, I'm Mario. And I was like, hi, I'm Allie Dawson. He's like, it's so nice to meet you. I was like, it's so nice to meet you. I was like, I just want to let you know I review your content online for a living. He's like, oh my God, do you really? He's like, what's your channel name? And I said, it's Allie Dawson. He's like, oh, well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for all the support. And I said, oh my gosh, no, thank you. And I said how pretty his skin was. And then they started taking our photo, but he had taken my palette out of my hands. I didn't even realize it, or I must have given it to him. I was just kind of like not in that moment thinking. But when he was starting to sign the palette, I looked over and there's a guy that's been taking photos for everybody. And I just did the one thing that comes naturally to me. I just went, and I just like had fun with it. At that point, I started having fun with it. And the guy starts laughing, Mario starts laughing, and then I asked if he can film like a little like moment for you guys. So here it is.
Hi friends.
Look who I'm with. Thank you. Oh, he has the best makeup ever. You guys know I'm obsessed with the concealer.
And yeah, after he got done doing that little intro, he, said, it's so nice to meet you. I shook his hand again. I told him to have a safe flight. Thank you so much for being so kind. And then like Libby went, he like talked to Libby for a little bit, he, like was being so kind to her. And then we walked away. We're like, what is this? The line was still super, super long. But we were like, what are the freaking odds? Like, what are the freaking odds that we would go into Sephora not knowing that he's there? We're going there just to literally buy makeup. I'm literally buying stuff from his brand to review and try out. And legit, he's standing right there. And I was like, what are the odds? Like, what are the odds? So freaking cool. And it seriously just like made my day. I did not expect to meet Makeup by Mario, I think ever in my life. But to like literally sit there and take a picture with him, talk to him, shake his hand, buy his, like, be wearing his like makeup. I was wearing his concealer. I was just like, this is just so freaking cool. This is a moment that I'll never forget. So unexpected. But probably one of like the best nights I've had in a very long time. And it just really was such a moment to meet him. He was just so kind and so beautiful. And yeah, so such a cool thing. Like such an iconic moment meeting the Makeup by Mario. Like what? Like crazy. Okay, so for foundation, I have two right here. This is from Make Beauty. This is a Diffusion Dew Radiant Skin Tint. They sent me two of them. They actually reached out to me on TikTok and they asked if they could send me over these two foundations to try out. They had no, you need to review this, you need to do that. There was nothing. They just said, hey, can we send this to you to try out? There's no obligations for it. And I was like, first off, I love when brands do that when they genuinely want you to try something. Like Vacation right here was the same way. They said, hey, can we just send this to you? They weren't expecting anything. And I appreciate when brands do that because it literally just allows me just to try stuff out. But they reached out to me on TikTok. And that's the first time a brand has ever reached out to me on TikTok, little old TikTok. And I only have like 6,000 followers over there. And I was like, me? Super freaking cool. So this is their Diffusion Radiant Skin Tint. This says that this is the next generation skin tint, features skin mimicking pigments to add radiant coverage while blurring, smoothing, and brightening. Sheer yet buildable, this lightweight product is formulated with added niacinamide to enhance skin for a glowing, healthy looking complexion. It says to shake vigorously, apply a few pumps, and blend into the skin using fingertips, sponge, or brush. Build cover as desired. So I'm super excited to try this out. I know that it is a radiant foundation, and a lot of times I'm not the biggest fan of radiant foundations because I do have really oily skin. However, I have been trying products that are radiant and glowy. As long as I'm using like the right base underneath it, or I'm using the right setting powder and setting spray, I can make it work. Am I gonna get oily? I will get oily. That's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I will definitely get oily, but as long as it doesn't separate, I can make it work beautifully. So I'm gonna try this today. I have the shades Light 0.15. I have the shades Light 1.5 and the shade Natural 2. So this is how they look. I'm super excited to give this a go. I've never tried anything from this brand before. I did post this on my Instagram stories yesterday, and I've had people reaching out going, oh my God, they sent you PR? And I was like, yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So random. But I'm always so grateful. Like, it's just me. Okay, so this is how the foundation looks. Nice, like, big size foundation. These are huge. So I'm going to go ahead and, like, kind of swatch these shades. So this is the shade 1.5 right here. So let me see how this looks. That might be a little bit too light for me. Let's see what the shade 2.0 is. That's the shade Natural 2.0. Ooh, that might be a little bit too dark for me. Okay, let me see if I mix the two together. What do we get? I think I might actually mix the two together. I feel like that'd be a better combination for me, because that might be a little bit too light. That's a little bit too deep. I think mixing together might be the best way to do this. So let me actually do that. And hopefully these don't oxidize down, because, well, that would suck. All right, so I'm just going to take 1 or 2 pumps of each, and we're going to mix these two together to try to create my, like, perfect match. Okay. Now this is going to be a skin tint, so it's not going to be like a full coverage foundation, but it is going to add, that is really pretty. It is going to add like a nice radiant glow while giving you like a skin-like finish, which I feel like is like definitely the way that people are gravitating to right now. I'm still full coverage. Like, I love a good full coverage moment, but I do also like the fact if I can wear something like this where it can be like a skin-like finish without me having to do like a full face of makeup, but I want to wear something that is just really beautiful, has a nice little radiant shine, and I'm just trying to like run out the door, go do like a quick errand. I could put on something like this where it just takes like 2 seconds to like apply. So let me just kind of put this on. That's pretty. That is really pretty. Okay, so anyway, to finish my story, after we got done meeting Makeup Mario, I was trying to find the executive who helped me meet him. I wanted to, thank her because I was so kind that she was able to get us in. She didn't have to do that, but she did. I don't know what possessed her to, but she was incredibly sweet, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank her, but I couldn't find her anywhere. I didn't even know her name, and I was just like, I want to thank you. So if there's ever a chance I see her again, I will absolutely thank her. But I hope she wasn't just there for the event, because she did say that she was an executive with Sephora. So I don't know if that means that she was just there for the event or she's an executive at that store. I don't know, but I wanted to thank her because she did not have to do that. So after we left, we went over to this new restaurant at Disney Springs called Summer House on the Lake or something like that. It's supposed to be a California inspired restaurant, but with locally sourced food. And it was really nice, really, 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 really pretty. I'll play a little video here because I sent Corey a video because we were having a girls' night. Very, very pretty restaurant. The food was pretty affordable. So I was, kind of surprised about because it is Disney Springs. But it's really nice. And we sat there for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours just talking, catching up, enjoying our food when Libby was like, oh my gosh, I just realized something. And I said, what? She's like, I never got a powdered bronzer. She's like, I got what I needed for makeup, but I never got a powdered bronzer. She's like, can we go back to Sephora? And I was like, yes. Because I never really had a chance to fully look around at all the new makeup stuff. I really wanted to look around at the new makeup, but I didn't have a chance because I just kind of felt like we were rushed because we were meeting Makeup by Mario. And then I don't know, it was just really crowded with a lot of music, a lot of people in there just clamoring around to meet him. So I didn't really have a chance to actually look around at all the new displays. Charlotte Tilbury had all of her makeup, new lipsticks and everything out. There was the new Rare Beauty scents that I wanted to smell. I know Sol de Janeiro released their new scents. So there's things I really wanted to check out that I just didn't have time to because we were just meeting Makeup by Mario. So I wasn't shopping the way that I wanted to. So I said, yes, absolutely. Now, mind you, at this point in time, it is probably 7 o'clock at night. So not too crazy late, nothing, right? So we walk over back to Sephora and I'm like, oh my gosh, look, Libby. I was like, there's no line. So we're like, okay, cool. First off, by the way, I want to say that this looks really, really pretty. Very, very, very glowy though. Very glowy. So we're gonna have to see if we can set it, mattify it down. As we were approaching Sephora, we saw that there was no line. They had the doors propped open. There was no line. So we're like, okay, perfect. So we start to walk to the door. I'm not kidding when I say these 10-year-olds. I swear to God, these two little girls literally cut in front of me and Libby and body checked me. They legit body checked me and went boom and pushed their way in. Now, I, being the person that I am, I said, excuse you. It just came right out because you did not just body check me. You did not just body check me to go into a store. You were behind me and that wasn't enough. You had to body check me to cut yourself in. I literally said, excuse you. They didn't even flinch. They didn't even look back. They just kept barreling through. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And that should have been an indicator of what I should have expected when I walked back into Sephora. So I walked in and I saw all the Makeup by Mario display was completely taken down because obviously he was gone. And I was looking around and I was like, okay, now I can actually look to see what all the new makeup is, what the displays are. And I got so excited. I was like, okay, I can see the new Charlotte Tilbury area. And then I realized, well, I'm not really moving. I was like, why am I not moving? I'm walking into the store, but I'm not actually moving. Why am I not moving? And it's because the store was so jam-packed full of nothing. And I'm not kidding when I say this. I swear to God, preteens. 10 to 15-year-olds, preteens, were all clamored inside Sephora. And they were blocking every single aisle. They were blocking all the main walkways. They were hoarded in groups. And I was like, my God, was I like this at that age? Because if I was, I am so sorry to anybody I ever came in contact with. I am so sorry. But they were literally hoarded into groups. It felt like I was in a scene of The Walking Dead. And I swear to God, these little girls were going to turn around. They were going to start going, whoa, and start attacking me. I don't know. I was like, I felt like, I literally felt like I'm overpowered. I was like, these little girls can overpower me. And what's really, really, really sad, and this is just unfortunate for me, I'm short. I'm 5'1", so I am not that tall, okay? So a lot of these little teenagers tower over me, or I'm the goddamn same size as them. I'm the same size and height. You know what I mean? So I was blending in. I could have joined their groups and stood there and no one would have been able to tell us apart. They would have all thought I was grouped in with them because that is how short I am. So I was just so floored because I could barely walk into the store because it was just swarming. I mean, swarming with nothing but kids. Now I'm going to insert a photo. I'm going to try to, blur out people's faces just because I'm trying to be like respectful to those that probably don't want to have their photo taken. But I was taking a photo because I wanted to show Corey, like, look what I'm experiencing right now. I'm going to go into Lunar Beauty. This is the Lunar Versatile Setting Powder. You guys can use code Allie, save 10% off. I absolutely love this setting powder. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaking wild. So we were slowly making our way through the store. I got to go to the Charlotte Tilbury display. And as I walked over there to start looking at the lipsticks, I got body checked again by a different group of girls who literally cut in front of me and said, oops, here's the lipstick that I wanted. It's right here. And I looked over and I went, are you serious? And she looked at me, she went, move. And I was like, Libby, I'm going to get arrested. I'm about to get into a fight with a freaking 10-year-old who could probably kick my ass because she's taller than me. Like, what the heck? But I literally just looked at her and she said move. And I was just like, you know what? They're going to overpower me. They're going to jump me. I can't say shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk away from this area. And I saw that Rare Beauty was right next to it. I tried to go smell, but they were just all clusterfucked around. They were all gathering around there like there was some sort of meeting to need to be had about how they're going to overtake the world, right? I swear that's what was happening. So Libby and I walked over to the skincare area because I wanted to go find new Laneige Cotton Candy Lip Scrub because I thought maybe it was out. I've been seeing people getting it and I wanted to see if I can get it myself. So we walk over and I see that Drunk Elephant is surrounded by a lot of, young little girls. And I was like, no surprise there. But I actually was kind of shocked though because they were all surrounding the Drunk Elephant area, but they weren't actually like doing anything. They were just surrounding the area. They weren't touching the products. They weren't destroying the displays. They generally were just around there congregating. And I'm sure they might have been looking to see what influencer was talking about, what product to get. And as I was walking by, there was an end cap display of Summer Fridays. And I hear the Sephora attendant being like, y'all, they're here. The 10-year-olds are here. They're clearing out the display. I need restocks. Also keep an eye out. I believe they are stealing. And she's like, I need help. I need help over here right now. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I thought, oh my God, are the new Summer Friday lip oils over here? So let me go wander over there, being half nosy, half wondering if the Sephora, if the Summer Fridays lip oils were there. They were not. And the display was completely empty. So that was actually not surprising to hear at all either. But I was just like, oh my God, this is freaking wild. So then we were making our way because Libby's trying to find like a good like bronzer to get. And I was like, oh, check out Charlotte Tilbury. I should have never suggested that option because I didn't realize that the new trend now is Charlotte Tilbury. The way that these girls were clearing out like the Hollywood Flawless filter, I'm like, first off, go get e.l.f., which is like literally $14 compared to like the $75 Flawless filter. Secondly, how the freak can you afford Charlotte Tilbury? Half the time I can't even afford Charlotte Tilbury and I'm 34 years old. How are you doing it? They were clearing out Charlotte Tilbury. They were clearing out Summer Fridays and they were clearing out Makeup by Mario and Fenty Beauty. That is where they were all congregated at. And they literally were surrounding those areas. They were pulling, y'all, the way that they were literally pulling items from back, like literally back in the back of like where you see the product launch, like, literally they were pulling the products from the back. They were opening it up, trying it out, putting it back in, and then just tossing it wherever they saw fit. And then I literally said, are you kidding me? And I tried to get an employee at that time because over the Charlotte Tilbury, you see everything on display. Well, obviously at the bottom, you see where they have all the black drawers. That is where they keep all the products. That's where they keep all the stock. So if they run out the top, they can just fill it up. They're not supposed to touch that. I used to work at Ulta. I know the rules. They're not supposed to touch that. Oh, these little girls had all the black bins pulled open and were just digging through it. And I was like, hello, an adult. I need an adult, because no one's paying attention. So I tried to like flag someone down and I saw a Summer Friday girl and I was like, looking, and she was just like looking at me and I said, they're digging through your bins, and she just went like that, and she disappeared. I don't know what happened because Libby's like, Allie, I need you to pay attention to this. I'm going to quickly, by the way, go into this Ofra Cosmetics. This is the Pro Palette. This was sent to me in PR. This is $99. Which I think is very expensive for what it is. However, the reason why it's $99 is because it is a pro palette with a mirror. So you're gonna get more than just eyeshadow in here. It does come with a big size mirror, but when you open this up, you are gonna get 6 rows, right? You're gonna get 6 eyeshadows, 3 blushes, a banana powder. You're gonna get like kind of like 2 brow and eyeliner products. You're gonna get a massive highlighter, or kind of like a highlighter and a half, along with a bronzer. So that is why this thing is so massive, because it's supposed to pretty much be a full face of makeup that you can use. Like, you don't need to have any other product. You'll have your setting powder, you'll have your eyeshadow, your blush, your highlighters, your bronzers, and your brow products and or liner products, however you guys wish to do so, and this palette. So it's why it is so expensive, and I get it because it has so much to it. And like the highlighters alone are like $35. So this to me is like, it's a great quality. It's a great price point for what you're getting. And obviously you guys can use code Allie, save you guys 20% whenever shopping anything at Ofra. So I'm actually gonna go into this little bronzer shade right here. But literally, I saw the girl disappear and I was like, oh my gosh. And then Libby's like, Allie, I need you to look at this. And I said, what? She's like, look at the line. The line itself was wrapped around from the cashier, wrapped around the little aisle where you like get all the little small trinkets, all the way down through the fragrance area, and it was nothing but freaking teens. Just teens. I barely saw a parent. I think I saw one parent in line, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And their arms were full of just like Charlotte Tilbury. There was Fenty, there was NARS, there was Rare Beauty, there was Huda Beauty. I saw everything, and I was like, how are these young girls affording everything? And not only are they coming in hordes, like I seriously felt like I was in the episode of The Walking Dead, but they're mean. They're so mean. So me and Libby were like, this is freaking wild. I don't know if I want to wait in line just to go get, I think because she found a powder bronzer by Charlotte Tilbury. She's like, I think I'm just going to order online. But we were over by the fragrance area because we were just checking out some of the fragrances I was pointing out. And there was a cashier over by the fragrance because they are there to help out if you need anything. And a girl walked up and said, excuse me, is this the line to check out? And the guy working the fragrance was like, yes, ma'am, it is. And she's like, that is fucking ridiculous. Can you check me out right here? And he said, do you have a fragrance? She said, no. He goes, well, then I can't help you. She said, are you effing kidding me? You can't help me. I am not waiting that line. I demand you check me out right now. He said, no, I cannot help you. You have to have a fragrance. You have to wait in line. And she was losing her mind. And I was like, where is your parent and who taught you that manner? I was so dumbfounded that I was just standing there watching the situation happen because I didn't know what else to do. I was watching it and I looked at Libby's like, I so badly want to record this, but like, I don't want to like record like minors, you know, especially without their consent. Like, it's just not for me. So I was just like standing there, and then I got body checked again. Like a young boy, like teenager boy, literally pushed me into the fragrance display because I'm standing between the fragrance display and like the back of the wall where there's more fragrances. Pushes me, and I look back and he goes, I am so sorry. It's just so crowded. I didn't mean to push you. I didn't see you there. I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, it's okay. And I was like, that's the first person that apologized to me because I had been stepped on. I had been pushed. I had been told to move by all these young little girls. And unfortunately for me, I'm a tiny ass girl myself, so they think that they could just do that. And I looked at Libby and I said, we need to get out of here. I was like, I am losing my mind. We need to get out of here. This is freaking wild. I have never seen it like this. Now, I'm going to backtrack here for just a minute. I was fully intending on applying to that Sephora because I was like, you know what? I could really use like a small part-time job just to make some extra income, maybe get some discount on some makeup. I wouldn't mind working at Sephora. I was like, this is something I can definitely see myself doing. Because especially it's definitely see myself doing. So I had already like had an application put in for that store. Like literally put an application in. And then when I walked in, I saw the Makeup by Mario event. I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign. This is so freaking cool. You know, I can see myself wanting to be a part of this. And then after that experience dealing with like all those like teenagers, I looked right at Libby and I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not be caught dead working at the store. There's just no way. I would get fired. I'm going to go into this little pretty shade right here. I would get fired because I would 100%, I would 100% get into like an argument with these little girls. Like I would be like, who's teaching these manners? And I would say something and I for sure would probably get in trouble. Like for sure would probably get in trouble. My mouth would get me in trouble because I would be like, excuse you, you need to say please, you need to say thank you. Please don't be touching that. Don't be doing that. The way that I would be stressed out at this job is like no other. And it's just really, really sad because I really love that Sephora. And to see how tarnished and how trashed it was getting, I just couldn't do it. And now I'm just like, cool. Like, I see people like Morgan Turner and Leah Janae go into their local Sephora and Ulta, and they film these really beautiful, aesthetically pleasing videos of like, here's what's new at Sephora, here's what's new at Ulta. Their displays are gorgeous, it's immaculate. And then I already go to mine, and it's just trashed and destroyed. And I know that it's not that Sephora's fault. It's because it's the location. It's inside Disney. It's tourist central. And then 2, all these like teens are coming in. I'm sure I can come in the morning and film that content. But like, I felt so bad for the workers. I genuinely felt so bad for the workers. It's not the first time I told you guys stories about the workers here. I don't know. I felt so bad. They deserve better treatment. They deserve better pay. And I was just so floored at what I experienced myself. Like I said, I've done nothing but talk to you guys about this for the last couple weeks. I experienced some stuff over at Ulta, but I hadn't gone to Sephora to experience anything myself. And this was the first time that I did. And I was just so blown away by the experience that I had. I just could not believe it. And wow, it was so shocking to me. Very, very shocking. I'm going to go into this highlighter right here. This is so freaking pretty. So if you're ever in the Disney area or you're ever at Disney Springs and you just want to check out this trend for yourself, by all means, head to Sephora at Disney Springs. Check it out, because I am not crazy when I say it was a wild ride. Such a wild ride. Wow. I give those workers such props. They have to have a lot of patience to deal with that. I don't have the patience to deal with that. And it took everything I had not to say something to that girl that first body checked me, and then the other girl that told me to move by the Charlotte Tilbury display. Like, it's wild. And it's just so sad to see that this is like the younger generation. Like, what is happening and why this is happening, I don't know. But I had never experienced that myself. And I just hate the fact that I'm so freaking tiny. So they probably think I'm one of them and think they could just say that. And I'm just like, bitch, I am twice your freaking age. Which means I could get in trouble. I could go to jail if I say anything to you. So I had to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to take this Pro palette, by the way. And I'm just going to take this shade right here. I'm just going to run that underneath my waterline. Just I feel like that'd be a really, really pretty shade to go with this eye look. Very easy too. Just nice and soft right here. That was my crazy weekend. I got to meet Makeup by Mario, and in the same day, I got body checked and almost got, like, I feel like, into fights with freaking 10-year-olds. It was such a whirlwind. What a freaking whirlwind. So for mascara, I have 2 mascaras to try out. So I have the Physician Formula. This is the Lash Illusion Mascara. This is a lash boosting complex. This was sent to me in PR from them, which is still like so cool because, like, Physician Formula, like, what? Such a moment. And then I also have the LYS Beauty. This is the Lash Confidence Mascara. I got this in a BoxyCharm, like, Ipsy box. I kind of tried them both out. So this one was these are both sent to me in PR. I really have been getting into LYS, although sometimes I think I get it confused and say YSL. It happens, y'all. But LYS, I'm so excited to try this out. And then we're going to try this Physician Formula. I really do like Physician Formula. I actually bought some new makeup to try out for you guys. The video will be live sometime next week, I believe. And I bought some new Physician Formula stuff. So I am super excited. So this is how the Physician Formula mascara looks. Okay, nice simple wand. And then this is how the LYS mascara looks right here. So we're going to try these both out and see kind of like which ones I like. But that was my experience. If you guys have had similar experiences going into your local Sephora, please let me know. It was just so wild, and I just, realized that, like, I would like to work at Sephora, but there was just no way I could ever work at that Sephora. And it's sad because, like, I love that Sephora, but I can't deal with that, y'all. I cannot deal with that situation again, because that would, like, stress me out. Like, there's no tomorrow. And listen, I already live with a lot of life stressors. I'm going in the Physician Formula first. I live with a lot of life stressors. I don't need to be adding that to the list. Like, no way. And then when I was telling Corey's like, well, you could always just, like, work the morning shift. And I said, listen, I would be a new hire. Do you think they would let me just work a morning shift? I doubt it. That's pretty. All right, let me try this eye. I'm going to quickly curl it. Y'all, I still smell so good. This vacation sunscreen, oh my God, I just keep smelling myself. I smell so good. I smell almost like a coconut vanilla scent. It's very pretty. All right, so this is the LYS mascara. Ooh, that's pretty. That definitely gives you really beautiful lip. That's pretty. That is so pretty. I like that a lot, actually. Like a nude liner. I always do white, so I'm gonna try to do like a little bit of a like nudie skin like liner from ColourPop. So I'm just gonna kind of line my lips. Wow, line my lid. Just so it looks like a little bit more awake. See, that's pretty. All right, I'm gonna go in with the One Size Until Dawn setting spray. You know this is magic for me. Okay, so moving on to lips. I have 4 Makeup by Mario products right here. I have 2 lipsticks and 2 plumping lip colors. So I saw a while back that he released plumping lip colors. I just never ended up picking them up. But when I was at Sephora the other day and I saw these in person, I actually swatched them. They were actually really, really pretty. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually check these out because I have all of the plumping lip balms, but I don't have like the plumping like lip colors, which are like almost like plumping lip glosses. Let me just open these. So these are the 2 plumping lip colors. So we have the shade called Miss Rose. So it's gonna look like so. Okay, very, very, very pretty. Then we have the shade called Barely Pink. Those are really pretty. So these are plumping lip colors, very similar to what he has for the plumping lip balms. And then there's also the brand new lipsticks. So these are the super satin lipsticks. So I have the shade called Soho, which is gonna make this really pretty like peachy shade, like so. And then I also picked up the shade called Malta. It's really, really pretty. Yeah, very, very pretty shade. I think I'm gonna go into this shade today. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lip. I'm gonna take a Jaclyn Cosmetics Bourbon Liner since this is sitting right here. This is my favorite, even though it's been discontinued. I have to get replacements for it. All right, then I'm gonna go into that shade Malta. Let's try this out. Okay, wow, I will say this is a very, very, very nice feeling lipstick. This feels like there's nothing on my lips. It feels like a nice lip balm. I wonder if I mix the shade Soho just a little bit to it. That is pretty. It's a really, really, really nice formula, like super nice formula. Okay guys, so this is the final look. So I'm gonna quickly, let me just go ahead and zoom you guys out so we can do a quick rundown on these items. So this is the final look, guys. I'm just gonna quickly do a rundown. So up first, I do have the Vacation Classic Whip sunscreen. Y'all, the way that this smells, it smells so good and my skin just feels so nice and moist. It really does. I cannot get over this scent. I'm definitely gonna be bringing this with me on vacation when I go on my cruise this week. I'm super excited to keep testing this out, but I really, really like this so far. It is very, very nice. So thank you, Vacation, for sending this over. Next, we do the One Size Secure the Glow Primer. You guys know how much I really like this primer. Surprisingly, even though it's for a glowy base and for like someone who has dry skin, because it does give you deep hydration, I really did enjoy this. This works beautifully on top of my skin. I don't know if it just melts really nicely. I don't know if it gives me such deep, hydration. I don't know, but even though I do get a little bit oily by midday, it's just a little bit oily. It's just a beautiful, beautiful primer. I keep using this and I feel like it sets a lot when I compared it to the One Size Secure the Sweat. You couldn't tell the difference. Such a great primer. Up next, we do have these 2 foundations. Up next, we do have the Diffusion Dew Radiant Skin Tints from Make Beauty. I have to say, this is really, really beautiful. It does give you a nice skin-like finish. So while it doesn't look super full coverage on the face, it melted really nicely into the skin. I'm sure that if I didn't use like a setting powder all over the face, this would probably give me a nice little radiant glow. But I really like the coverage. It is very easy to work with, very easy to blend out. I don't know if I'm going to get oily with this or not. I'm sure I will by the end of the day. So I'll definitely let you guys know in a follow-up video when I do like my repurchase or trash how my skin held up. I'll like film it for you guys so you guys can see. But I will say, based upon first impressions, I really do like the coverage of it. I like the fact that this was super easy to work with, and I feel like this is one of those foundations that I would quickly put on to go on the go if I'm just running to the store and I want to look like somewhat alive and that I care about my appearance a little bit. I probably would put something like this on to give me just a nice, beautiful, like radiant complexion. And I just feel like it's really pretty. It's a really, really pretty foundation. So definitely excited to keep trying that out. Next, we do have the Ilford Cosmetics. This is the Pro Palette right here. Now, like I said, this does retail for $99, so it's a little expensive for what it is, Personally, if you're not going to use the entire palette for everything that it has to offer, then I don't think it's worth it. But if you definitely feel like you're going to use the blush, bronzer, highlighters, eyeshadows, like eyebrows, the banana powder, then this can be a great palette for you. But for me personally, I probably would only really use it for more like the highlighters and the blush. I'm not the biggest fan of the bronzer. The shadows are really pretty. I probably use the shadows, but like I probably use the shadows, but like I feel like I wouldn't get as much use out of this as it's intended. But it is a really pretty palette. I love this highlighter. The blushes are really pretty color, very spring-like colors. And that little shadow right there is really pretty. But I think the highlighter is what really kind of sold it for me. Like I said, it does retail for $99, so it is expensive. But if you guys use my code Allie, you guys will save 20% off. And I will say it is really pretty on the skin. So thank you, Oprah, for sending that my way. Sorry it took me so long to review it. Next, we do the two little Make It by Mario palettes. I love my eye look. I think it's really pretty. This is one of those eye looks I can see myself wearing all the time. Am I going to keep using these palettes? Probably not, only for the mere fact that like I want to keep them in pristine condition because they are white, and my like Make It by Mario Ethereal palette is a little dirty because it's a white palette, and I can't ever seem to keep anything white super clean. I struggle with it apparently. So this is one of those things like I will definitely cherish and I'll hold on to, and maybe use it every once in a while, but it's not something I'm going to be using all the time because I generally want to keep this in pristine condition because, well, it's signed and I don't ever want that to like disappear. But I'm very grateful that I have these. The mascaras, I surprisingly really do like these mascaras. I think I probably like the LYS one just a little bit more because that one I noticed gave me a little bit more a little bit more lift, a little bit more curl, but this one just coats the lashes very nicely, and it blends very beautifully with the LYS mascara. I think these two complement each other very well. I'm definitely excited to keep trying this out. I think this is really beautiful for underneath. Got my lashes underneath really nicely, and it definitely just like lifts and coats the lashes. But I think adding that extra curl factor and that extra like wow factor definitely goes to the LYS mascara. Super nice formula. And then lastly, I only tried out the Make It by Mario lipstick. I didn't try out the color sticks. I can right now actually. I probably will in just a minute. But I will say the lipsticks are super comfy. It feels like I'm wearing a lip balm. Very pretty color. This is the shade Soho and Melita kind of mixed together. I wanted the more lighter shades, but unfortunately those were sold out. I don't know if it's sold out because of the event or they just been sold out, but I've been seeing everybody talk about this lipstick, so I had to get it myself. And I will say this is such a pretty color, such really nice formula. I do want to quickly just try out this one right here, the Barely Pink. I just want to see, like, it feels like wet. Like I don't know if I did too much, maybe just add a little extra shine. I'm gonna have to try these. I'm gonna have to try these separately, but I just added just a little bit to it, and it feels like almost like that Rare Beauty like lip tint that they had, like that weird lip oil that feels like a water base, but then it dries to a different color. Like that was just like dries to like down to a different formula. Like, that was such a weird product. I didn't like it, but this, I don't really know if I did too much besides like add a little bit more color to the lip. I don't know, or a little bit more shine. But either way, I really do like those lipstick, which is surprising because I typically don't like lipsticks. Those are all the products I tried so far. I am not disappointed by anything yet, but I really just kind of wanted to come on here and tell you guys my crazy weekend story about how I met Make It by Mario unexpectedly and like accidentally, and how I got pushed and bullied by a freaking 10-year-old. What is life? So let me know down below if there's any of the products I talked about that you guys are interested in today, or if you guys have any questions about Make It by Mario, or just want to say hi. Say it all in the comments down below. But yeah, guys, that is it for today's video. Just a reminder, next Wednesday, February 7th, I will be going live here on YouTube where I have you guys pick my makeup. I'll be doing it at the beginning of February and at the end of February. I'll make sure I link all the products I tried down below for you guys as well. But yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for the Life, where you guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful page members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video. Bye. The iconic makeup, while telling you guys about how I got to meet the while telling you guys a story about how I unexpectedly got to meet the... Alrighty guys, so I have some goodies in front of me to try out for you guys today. Some of this was... Alrighty guys, so I do have some goodies to try out for you guys today. Most of this... the brand Vacation actually sent me over their brand... But up first, take your poolside lounge to the new levels of decadence with the Vacation brand